Since its foundation, the United States has undergone deep changes that shaped its current being. The different ideologies of the founding fathers permitted trying different systems of governing, at least towards some issues related to economy, virtue, religion, to name but a few. In the course of the 18th and 19th century, this quarrel gave birth to various changes at the political, economic, and most importantly, social level. The differing opinions at the top level were but a manifestation of what was going on in the mind of the Americans, who were influenced by some philosophical figures such as John Locke, Kant, and Emerson. Locke's ideas were present in the making of the American politics. Jefferson, who was a prominent founding father, called for a government that derives its power from the governed, who in turn have the right to change this government anytime they find destructive to its primary end, that is, serving the people. The Scottish philosophy, which stresses the importance of the moral aspects in humans to do good, found expression in the political debate, and though the American Constitution did not include any mentioning of the word virtue, voices were calling for giving this inner voice a chance to contribute to the welfare of the nation. Along with debating politics, Americans discussed the role of religion, which had, though smoothly, radically changed, especially at the public level, as there was a tendency to separate state from religion, a point stressed by Jefferson. Puritans who came to the United States to establish a city upon a hill had never imagined that the year 1861 would witness the death of religion, as it was quite difficult for an American to be convinced of the existence of a loving father after losing their entire families, and hence the image of religion was completely distorted. Prior to that, many doctrines have been developed, namely deism, which states that human nature is essentially good and salvation is within the reach of every single person, contrary to what has been held by Calvinism, that only a few, the ones who have been chosen, can be saved. Deists posited that God had created the world and all the laws that governed it, and then he allowed people to act as they wish without any kind of intervention. These ideas were appealing to many founding fathers, including Franklin and Jefferson. People were finding difficulties in balancing between religion and reason, especially when it comes to the way a person gains knowledge. We have then Calvinism, which states that knowledge is given by a divine revelation, and on the other side, deists claim that the use of logic and reason can enable one to get knowledge. Romanticism came to highlight the role of spirituality and feelings in one life and the importance of balancing logic and emotion. What characterized this movement is appreciating the beauty of the past and the religious heritage embedded in the decoration of churches and the rituals of revivals, regardless of their validity. Kant doubted the ability of the mind to solve all problems that humans face in their daily life, and paved the way to Emerson to adapt Romanticism to Transcendentalism by incorporating mysticism, and described how a person can reach a state where he can get in touch with God directly and get the ultimate knowledge. Emerson had encouraged Americans to stop taking Europe as a source of inspiration and instructions, and coming up with their new vision of life. He stressed the importance of self-reliance, freedom, and optimism, and from here one can see the origin of individualism in American society, and how this transcendental movement, though it dates back to the 19th century, is still influential and present up to now. To conclude, The American mind is the result of a long-standing struggle of ideas which, regardless of their validity and the way they were transmitted, as they cost many Americans their life in many occasions, were essential to achieve the current status.